Well, greetings, entrepreneurs, as well as my chat tribe. So, if you haven't noticed by now, I have put out posts about me changing or merging two different business entities into one. One was called Michelle's Coaching Business. The other one is basically Conversations Over Coffee, but that really was just my name on YouTube. But I'm merging the two because what I found out as far as me trying to do two different businesses or two different ventures, that they are tied together. And what do I mean by that? Because I have invested, I would say maybe over about 4 to 5 years in the entrepreneurial space as far as equipping, women to grow a profitable business. But what I also realize is that there are a lot of women who are struggling in relationships. They're in unhealthy relationships, toxic relationships, marriages, whatever it is that you want to call it. And how can we build a thriving business if that is something that we're faced with, or that's something that we're dealing with every day? And even though we may have left that situation or that relationship, but there's still the lingering effects of what we've endured within that relationship. And before we can really grow a profitable business or a thriving business, we have to address the issues that we face, even the things that we have lost parts of ourselves trying to deal with a relationship that was really unhealthy and toxic. So this is what I really want to kind of talk about today with you. And I want to kind of shed some light on why it is so important for us as women. I mean, men are included, because I'm sure there's a lot of men who have gone through situations as well. But I'm really addressing the women because I see such a vast amount of women who are now in the process of healing from these type of relationships. And what I want to talk about when it comes to the entrepreneurial side, if we are still in those type of relationships, even when we've removed ourselves from those relationships, we still have to do that inner work. We still have to do that self-work, because it's going to show up in our business. It's going to show up in our productivity. It's going to show up when we're putting out projects, when we're putting out something to the public. It's going to show if we still have that sense of, what is my value? What does my value look like? Because I wasn't valued in this relationship. So will other people, or my target audience, value me and look at my work as valuable, even though, I haven't been valued over in this area? So things can cross over. Our mindsets can be in the place where we know what we want to do or what we want to execute, but because there are maybe some doubt there, some low self-esteem issues, confidence issues, and how we show up within our business, then it's going to really affect how we can scale it and grow it. And this is why I merged the two, because I realized, early on, that I was dealing with this issue for so long, and it never dawned on me to bring the two together, because I was trying to build two things separately. But it was my compassion was for both things. I have a compassion for business. I have a compassion for entrepreneurship, but I also have a compassion for women who are being devalued, women who are losing themselves in relationships, women who are so brilliant in what they can bring to the table through their business, but because they've been in cycles of trauma, they've been in cycles of dealing with low self-esteem, they've been dealing with anxiety and all these things, and how it hinders us when it's time to show up in our business. We can put out a product or service, and then we may not continue to promote it and put it out there because we feel like, well, I put it out there one time, or I put it out there 2 times, and nobody basically, or took advantage of the offer, or whatever we want to call it. And that's because we may have that mindset as if when we were still in that unhealthy relationship, or maybe we're still in it, and it has played on our psyche to the point of where we now look at, that role of where we now become a perfectionist, where we'll say, oh, I can't put it out because it's not perfect. Oh, I can't put it out yet. It's not perfect. And that's showing us more about how we view ourselves, because we are not perfect. I think that when we put something out there to the market, of course, we want it to be high quality. Of course, we want to make sure that we're testing it. We want to make sure that it is something that is going to resonate with our audience. But when we keep not releasing things, it shows something deeper within ourselves of how a relationship, and it's not only just, let me just say it for this, even though this is what I'm talking about romantic relationships, but it can be relationships with a parent. It could be relationships with siblings. It could be relationships with family members. It could be even a relationship with a business partner. So there's many different types of relationships that can hinder the growth of your business, especially when you've endured so much trauma from it, because you're trying to be the bigger person. You're trying to make sure that you're understanding them, but it continues to go on deaf ears. And after a while, it starts to play on your mental capacity when it comes to you even running your business in a way that where you are going to show up and be that best version of yourself. It hinders that process because we're always second guessing ourselves. We're always trying to run it by someone. And not to say we don't ask for that constructive criticism, because we need that. We need someone who we can trust, a good friend that can basically point out areas that are blind spots to us so we can put out good quality content. But it comes a point in time where we have to stop, making sure that everything is so perfect that we put out something where it's, well, I would say, where we feel like, okay, it's not flawed, it's perfect. No, there's going to be areas where we're still going to need to do that work on, but not to release something just because we're afraid of the feedback of what somebody is going to say about it, because we think that that feedback is a dig at us as a person. We're thinking they're basically coming against our core values or our personality or who we are as a person, when it's not that. It's just basically maybe we need to do more work in something that we're promoting, or knowing how to market it or word it in a way that attracts that target audience. So this is why I'm putting this brand together, or I'm merging this brand together, because I believe that once we can heal and deal with our emotions, once we can heal and deal with and start valuing ourselves and start understanding who we are as a person at the core, what values do we want to continue to live by? What values, like for instance, when we put out our business, we have a mission statement, we have a vision statement, and then we have core values. So if we know our core values are great customer service, loyalty, commitment, right? So then what are our core values as that individual when we are forming relationships? Because if we compromise on those core values in a relationship, regardless, it's going to spill over into our business life, because that is part of who we are. So we can't separate the two. It goes hand in hand, because, and let me just give you this scenario. If we are in the place of, just say you're in this relationship, maybe that morning you got up and it was an explosive argument. It was something where this person was just devaluing you. They were speaking down to you. They were very condescending. They were telling you that, oh, your business is never going to take off. Nobody's going to buy that from you. Nobody's going to like what it is that you do. But in your heart of hearts, you know that that is your dream, that is your vision. But how you show up in that space to go and execute on that vision, it's going to play those tapes of what this person has instilled in you. It's going to show up how you execute in pushing that content out, how you show up online, how you even think about, when it's time to maybe change up some strategies. It's all of that is going to play on your mental, because you're basically allowing someone to speak into your life in a negative sense, and now you're carrying that over into your business life. And sometimes people say, well, I can separate the two, but I believe that it plays on your mental. I believe that it plays on your value as a person. I believe it plays on your confidence and your self-esteem, because I believe that someone that loves you and someone that's there for you, someone that's there to support you, they're not going to speak anything negative against you, even if they don't see, let's just say, your business taking off within the first 1 or 2 years. They're still going to say, babe, continue to try it. Maybe try it this way. Maybe get you a coach, or maybe get somebody that can help you, with that process. They're not going to speak negatively against it, because if that's something that is your vision, that is something that is your dream, then you're going to continue to pursue it. You're not going to, just 86 it because somebody says, oh, well, that you shouldn't be doing that. I mean, when we look across like history, when we look at Walt Disney, when we look at all these popular places that we now go to, I mean, look at how many times they failed, but when they continued to stick and stay with it, then their business started to flourish. So I'm here to just basically encourage you, in order to build that successful business. If you have any type of negative relationships in your life, you have to now make the decision. How are you going to navigate that? Are you going to cut that off? Are you going to set boundaries around it? Are you going to make sure that it doesn't interfere with the lifestyle that you want to create for yourself, for your family? So if that's the case, then I hope that you follow me more on this journey. I'm going to have a lot coming for you. And for those on the entrepreneur side, don't worry, that webinar is coming up very soon on how to help you locate and speak to your target audience. So this way, you're not speaking to everybody, because if you're speaking to everybody, you're really speaking to no one. So continue to follow me for more. Hit that like button, that subscribe button, and comment below if there are any topics that you want me to talk about dealing with entrepreneurship as well as relationships, because I'm here to help you overcome situations that may have left you in a state of trauma, anxiety, because we don't want to translate that over into our business. We want to heal and thrive while we build a profitable business. So have a great day, and I'll be back with you with another video.